Imagine as if you were there, witnessing everything just as I did. I was standing there, sand underneath my feet, looking down at the place where spilled blood of a people meet each other, like tiny streams coming together to form a river of blood that flows right into the crystal clear water of a pristine lake. I stood there watching the red meet that crystal clear, like two different layers of the same thing. The fourth, remembering. The smell of blood, thick in the air. Your senses are bombarded by the screams and the cries and the chaos of the massacre that's been happening around you. And you're still caught. Leo, running towards her father. Goja, beseeching the natural world. Catalina, bearing witness to Elitza and Neza. Neza, where is your attention right now?
I tried to connect to that weave, that sensibility that was there when I healed myself. And I'm holding Elitza, and my fingers are on her lips as I try and breathe life into her, and it's not quite working. And in the chaos of it all, I just keep staring at her lips. These lips that were able to compose the most beautiful melodies on her flute. And then I look for her flute because it seems unnatural and wrong that it's not in her hands. And I can't find it, and then I do, and it's snapped. And that doesn't seem right. And so I grab the flute and I do my best to try and fix it together, and I can't. And I say to her, I'm sorry, I can't fix it. I know this was your flute. I know your mother gave it to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I just keep saying, I'm sorry, looking at her lips and the broken flute.
All of you, you hear explosions all around you. Around you, you see these giant monarch butterflies, their wings catching light as if they were made of stained glass. And they're falling from the sky, dive bombing onto the abominations amidst all this chaos. And as they make contact, the butterflies shatter. Shards of stained glass shred the bodies of the monsters, and in one final burst of light, the abominations disappear. Perhaps too late to save some, but just in time to save everyone else. People are still running. Hunters and acolytes, those that are still standing, take a swing into air, brace themselves to receive a blow that never comes. There are people falling to the ground over the bodies of loved ones. Leo, you see all this happening as you keep running towards your father. Do you stay that course?
I think, how far am I right now from him?
You're about, at this point, maybe 80 feet. You've gone over half the distance.
Yeah, especially I think if she's seeing that these monsters are being dealt with and are going away, she is still going towards him, but I think she's slowing down because she's I'm afraid of what I'm going to see when I get there. And as I still approach, I am trying to, from far away, ascertain what I'm about to see. Like, is any part of him still there? Is he able to be saved? Or am I going to see something that in my mind isn't him anymore?
From where you are, and as you continue to approach, I would like a perception check, please.
15.
15. Your gaze steady on your father, who's lying on the ground. What's happening around you does not take your attention. You can see from your periphery blood on the ground, bodies, people still fleeing, people huddled over, crying, holding on to a loved one. And as you get closer, you see a heap, a pool of blood, and you see your father still. Do you continue walking around to get a better view of what happened to him?
No, I think she's going to stumble a little bit at that, and I'm going to walk backwards and just head shaking, try to find one of the other people in my group and just go up, whoever the first person of them I see, and just beg them, can you go, can you just go look and just tell me what happened to him?
Kosha's near enough for you to walk towards him a little bit, for you to have that exchange.
I snap from my internalized pondering to look at a friend in need. I look at the body and I run towards it.
You see the body of a man whose head has been crushed on impact with the rock that it was slammed into. The one eye that you can look at is empty. His head is turned a little bit on its body in an unnatural way.
I look up at Leo, and with my eyes, I tell her exactly what she already knows.
I think at that point, Leo just sort of falls to her knees, deathly white, and is just silent, catatonic, staring at the ground.
Catalina. The chaos around you is slowly starting to shift as some people are recognizing that the abominations somehow are no longer there. There's wounded people around. Neza is still in front of you. What do you do?
I want for a moment to just, look at the trail of where the butterflies came from. Can I kind of discern the direction that they came from?
You look up into the sky and you don't see any butterflies. Roll for me.
Oh, right, because I never saw them initially, but when they started.
You saw them diving down from the sky.
Right.
And you saw them shatter around you.
Yeah.
You don't see them anymore, but at least not immediately where you're looking.
Right.
Roll for me a Arcana or Nature check.
Okie dokie. Natural 20.
Ever there was a
We
fucking
needed
need for
this.
natural 20. Yeah.
Finally, a win.
What's happening internally as you look for these monarch butterflies and what moves through your mind?
Well, I made it a nature check. And so I think that I'm thinking about all those paths I didn't take and all the callings in my mind. And I know that there was this moment where I saw a monarch butterfly, and like in my book where I kind of like remark upon different little nature things that I see, like I draw these monarch butterflies like over and over and over and over and over again. And I feel like this is a sign, and I think for the first time I kind of embrace whatever this thing is that's trying to connect with me, and I go, okay, what do you want me to see?
As you think that, you feel yourself opening up to the world around you. You have those images of those monarch butterflies that you've drawn over and over and over again. They keep coming into your mind. And you think from your periphery that you see one. For a moment, it's almost as if you do. The monarch butterflies around here have a wingspan of about a foot. And you think you see in your periphery one that is about 3 times bigger. Your head turns towards it, and it's almost as if it dissipates into the air. But your head is left turning towards the West River. One of the 2 rivers that spills out of the gift, El Río Rojo, the Red River, flowing westward from the gift. Your eyes trace along that river.
Okay. I think I make a note of that, and then my heart wants to go that way, but first I know that there's a duty that I must attend to, and I go to Neza, and I assess the situation. Would spare the dying even work in this situation? It's a cantrip. It's not a spell slot.
Are you approaching
Yeah.
Itzel?
Yeah. Or no.
Elitza.
Yeah,
You're approaching
Elitza.
Elitza.
Yeah.
As a trained cleric,
Right.
an acolyte of the Temple of Divinity, you approach Elitza, and you are readily able to ascertain. Had it been just one javelin, maybe there would be a shred of life left, but it was that second one that guaranteed her instant departure. Her eyes are open, they're blank. Her mouth is slightly ajar, almost as if she was caught in the middle of saying something.
What's your demeanor as I approach? Are you even? If I were to step any closer, would you even let me?
No, not towards her, no.
I think from the distance that I have, I start to pray. And although I know that, it would hurt for Neza to hear, I think I start to send her spirit to rest. As quietly as I can.
What are those words?
Embrace the mother as she embraces you.
Neza, you're close enough to hear this.
I've just been holding her. And I hear you praying. And there's a look that he gives you, that I give you, that is something you've never seen. I don't think you've seen this in Alma before. And I would rip your throat out if I wasn't with her right now. And I picked the body up. Body. I pick up the woman that I loved, that I never told I loved. And I start following El Rio Rojo to my home south of the cenote so that I can prepare her for rest. So she can be with her mother, who she just spoke to this morning. She hadn't spoken to her in a while. It's time for her to go home.
Leo, the body of your father is before you. And you feel someone step next to you. It's Azune, alive and well. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I'm looking at him, but there's nothing I can say back.
Listen, Leo, there's unfortunately not much time, but we need to try to figure out what happened, because if it comes back, then we need to try to be ready for it. I don't know if there's a way for that to even be possible, but for now, and he looks at the dead. We've lost a lot of acolytes and a lot of hunters. We need to move the bodies. Take your time with your father. I'm organizing those that are capable to help us load the bodies onto the wagons. And if we need to leave the Arapaimas behind to make room for the people, then so be it. And he kind of goes into this sort of stunned silence as he takes in again the scene that's before him. His thought trails away. You can see that he is in shock, but trying to keep it together.
I think Leo will clear her throat a little bit and ask him, can you grab I can't do it.
I will take him. Go find something else to put your attention on. I will make sure this is taken care of. And he waits for you to leave. And he kind of, as you start leaving, he positions himself in between you and the body of your father. Just in case you have the urge to look back, what you'll see is him instead of what's on the other side of him, your fallen father.
How far away is that from where I was?
That's about, from where you were, it's within, you can see.
Can I hear it?
You can hear it.
I stop, and I turn, and I say, they have names!
Azune stops, and he looks at you. And it's almost as if his mind is too clouded to process what that actually was. Slowly turns his head back and moves on to pick up your father. Koja, you were standing there watching this. Where do you go next?
I see a lot of pain, a lot of anger. My instinct is to go talk to Neza and really discuss what's going on in the next steps. But I know that right now, he cannot be approached. That is not someone that I've grown close with. This is another being. This is the personification of anger, lashing out. I look at Leo and I want to say that I'm there for her, and that even though we haven't really spoken in candor, that this event tied us so close together. But I also see that she's processing the loss, and there's nothing I can say to help that. And then I turn to Catalina, who, well, what am I seeing?
I think you see the sort of like aftershock of the fact that Neza, in this moment was like, I would kill you. And I think I'm looking for a friend. I'm looking for anybody that wants to connect with me. So yeah.
You're just sort of like stunned.
Yeah, I think I'm embarrassed. I think I thought that's what I was supposed to do. I thought that's what you're supposed to do, but like that wasn't. If it didn't bring comfort, then why did I do it?
I walk up to you and I say, Catalina,
Escoja.
Would you come with me by the Rio Cristal?
Mm-hmm.
I need help washing
Yes,
my face.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. And I think I rip the bottom part of my dress, and I fashion like a cloth. I can do this. This I can do. So I roll it up into a little wrap, and I start soaking it in the water, and I start sort of cleaning your face.
Catalina.
Yes, Koja.
It's no secret we've all been dealt a terrible hand. And everyone here lost someone. I wanted to ask you how you're feeling, Itzel. I know that she was someone you looked up to.
Yeah. She always seems so far away. She means so much to so many people. What's going to happen now? We can't. How are they going to pray? How will we? What can we do? She was we help, but people came to see her. She was the one she was the beacon. She was our. You know what I mean?
She's gone. Yeah. Yes. But you're not.
Mm-hmm.
I think people will start to look at you like they looked at her.
That's not good. That's not
Why?
good. Look at me. You see me.
I saw you try to help every single person there. I saw you try to coax the people on the proper way to push the fish. All you do is help. We all see that.
But can I help in the right way?
Yes. You've only done that. What makes you think that you can't do that?
I get kind of lost sometimes. I don't mean for it to happen. I start thinking about something, and then I start thinking about something else, and then I forget what I was supposed to be doing, and what I was supposed to be doing was really important, but I think there's other things that are also important, and then I can't remember.
I touch her shoulder, and I say, take it from me. Lost people are lost because they're looking for answers. And I want you to know that you know everything you need to know.
I think I put my hand on his hand. How do you know that?
Because I'm just like you. And being lost has left me detached from everyone. But I realize that we're all in the exact same spot. And that doesn't make me feel as alone as I felt before.
Koya, you were never alone.
You're right, I was never. I realize that now. A lot of that was self-imposed isolation. Because staying lost was easy. Not connecting is simple. Because as soon as you connect with someone, they have the potential to be lost. I came here to console you, and this is not how it's turning out at all. Will you join me and go to La Lomita with me?
Mm-hmm.
I find that place has provided a lot of answers for when I was lost. And
Okay.
I think it might do the same for you.
Okay.
You notice that Azune is nearby. He has just put Santiago onto a wagon and has moved his way towards the two of you. And at that precise moment, he steps forward and he says, "I'm so sorry to interrupt." And he looks around, and what you see is other people consoling each other. Other people coming together over the loss that has collectively been experienced. Azune says, I was about to demand your help, and I realized that what we need more of before we get to work is some of what you just did. We now more than ever need a moment to remember that we are still together. If you need another moment, please do so, but there are so many dead, and we need everyone that is able-bodied to help us take them back.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
And he then goes and calls a couple other people who were just in the middle of that same sort of moment that passed between the two of you, consoling each other. And one after another, the people that remain of Alma get to work and start pulling and lifting the dead. Leo, you see an adolescent girl, Nia. You recognize her. She's standing stunned, looking in the distance. She has light reddish-brown skin. She has red eyes. More human looking, with a little bit of elf and a little bit of orc, as is the case with most people here. But you see some of that infernal blood manifesting in her. And she looks to you and she says, "My father was out there. Talo, I saw what happened to him, and I need someone to help me. He's right there, and can you help me?"
Leo will, again, still sort of in stunned silence, nod and tell her, "Do you know where the ranch is, the alpaca ranch?"
Yeah, everyone knows where that place is. It's your ranch, isn't it?
Yeah, we just had a baby born. You should go see if they're okay, and I'll meet you there.
She takes that in, and for a moment you can see a little bit of the pain that she's experiencing melt away, and then it comes right back. And this young woman straightens up a little bit and she says, "I will, but not right now. I'm going to have to take my father's place. And I haven't learned half of what he had to teach me.
I think I can relate to that. Unfortunately, I just lost my father too. And I'm realizing a lot of questions I never got answers to, and but we have time.
She takes a breath. You can tell that half of what you're saying is sinking in, and the other half is just going right past her. And she takes your hand, and then she starts to walk towards the body of her father. You will help me, right?
And I think in that moment, Leo is pushing everything down, down, down. Little tiny box somewhere else. And she says, yes, and straightens up.
And you move with Nia. Find the body of Talo, her father. And she looks to you, and you see that she begins to mirror what you do. The way you stand, she straightens up and begins to stand the way you do. She studies what you do, how you move to pick up Talo, her father, and she joins. You are teaching her, and she is studying what it is that you are providing. Catalina, Koja, you see familiar faces. Arden, stunned, pulling bodies onto wagons. Other people, Esmeralda, Esperanza, and Adife, moving with some kids. A lot of children have already made their way back towards the town. But you have Hadi, Adife's son, still with a little bit of smeared, concentrated sweet juice from the shaved ice that he indulged in earlier, smeared on his face. Streams of tears running down. And next to him, Juancho, the boy with the broken Arapaima toy. This time, not crying at all. The little boy who could barely breathe because of how upset he was over his broken toy is looking upon what's happened and is helping as best as he can pick up the dead and load them onto wagons. The boy he once was is gone. His face now that of a changed person. The wagons get loaded up. People continue to move now down the road towards the gift, back towards Alma. Azune finds you and brings you, Leo, closer to him. I have more to share. Earlier I saw that you were working alongside some people. I'm afraid we're going to need to rely on people that are not only hunters and acolytes. Were they capable enough, in your opinion?
Absolutely.
Our numbers are down, more than I had thought. And moreover, the curandera has been missing, too. Our shaman is... We are expected to see her be a part of the festivities From a distance, always, she's remained quite mysterious. We all know this, but she's never been absent. When we get back to town, we will need to gather anyone who is capable of mind and body. There's a lot that needs to be done.
You can count on me.
I know I can. And as he steps away, he grabs you and pulls you into a full embrace.
And I think Leo just sort of, again, still sort of recovering now from the shock a little bit after having to put a bit of a front to Nia, you said?
Yes.
But I think she sort of takes the hug, but I feels like very weak still to return it completely, but she very much leans into it.
You feel him, Azune, collapse a little bit. You provide him a moment to let go. And you hear his breathing shift, become a little bit more labored. And then he steels himself, straightens up and moves away from you. Tears welling up in his eyes, now being forced shut. I just needed a moment of that.
Yeah.
And he starts to move back along the road, his head watching people. And we move from there to you, Neza. You're walking along the Red River, yes? The Red River is red because of the grass that grows, that anchors itself to the rocks below. Red Macarena. And the way it blankets the floor of this river, a fast-moving river, you notice. It looks as if, right now especially, it's made of blood. What are you doing at this moment?
I'm talking to Elitza. I knew I loved you the first time I saw you. I ran home and I told my grandmother about it. She said, "Don't be afraid to feel, Neza." But I was afraid to feel anything because I'm always sad. And I'm always angry. And I don't know why. But I didn't feel sad when I was with you. I wasn't sad when I was with you. I should have told you. And I walk with her to my home, my yurt, where we prepare all of the bodies for Alma. And there are sleeping quarters, and there's a stone slab in the center where we place the body. And I place her body on top of the slab, and I just kneel there. And it occurs to me that I still have some coffee left, so I pull out the 2 mugs and I pour her a cup of coffee and I pour myself a cup of coffee. and I listen. And I just wait to wake up.
Do you fall asleep?
I think I climb onto the slab with her, and I fall asleep.
You think to yourself, wake up, as you crawl next to her. Curl up next to her, bring her in so that the coldness of her lifeless body can feel the warmth of your own. And as you tell yourself to wake up again and again and again, eventually exhaustion takes hold. And you close your eyes and you drift. On the road, we've arrived to the town square. Bodies have started to get laid out. Arden is talking to Azune, and they're unsure of what to do. There's too many. We can't take them to the cenote. It's too dark. You overhear them saying that they'll stay here the night, and in the morning we will find a place for them. But they're uncertain as to what to do. Azune's approached by a couple people, Teo among them, exhausted. He assures them that their contribution has been enough at this point, and he lets them go. Everyone, we're all exhausted. We've been through enough, but we can't. There's nothing left for us to do until the morning. Please, make yourselves, find your way home. Get as much rest as you possibly can. We will all return to this in the morning. A couple people nod, and they start to move. Others stick around, crossing their arms, shaking their head, clearly not ready to go home. There's people huddled over their own dead, people crying.
We left the fish, right? We left the fish in like the road.
We did.
Right. I think I find like a box to stand on, and I say, if anyone would like to assist me, I think we should take the wagons up the road and go and retrieve the arapaima fish. They have given their lives for us, and I think we could all use the distraction, right? That's what I say.
It takes a little while for people to, first, they're a little bit confused as they see you stepping up on a box and they see you standing before them and they hear you speak out. A delayed response across the board, but a few people that have been standing there with their arms crossed now unfold their arms. They look towards each other and they start moving towards the wagons and towards the road. Clearly, some of them are not going to find sleep tonight and could use the distraction, much like you suggested. One of them, as he passes by you, looks to you and gives you a nod. And they move to retrieve the arapaima fish. Azune steps towards you all.
I like get off the box.
No, please. I think we need that.
I get back on the box.
Clearly, there's clearly a leadership vacuum, and I feel responsible, as if I should step into it, and I can't bear it on my own. So, thank you. The High Priestess would be proud of what you just did, I'm certain of it.
Thank you.
I have to share something that struck me. I saw an abomination out there. I saw what happened to someone who I don't remember. I saw them get struck down, and I saw them reach and pull something from them, and I fear for what that means. He starts to look at the bodies. I don't know how many of them have been truly taken from us. Do you have a way?
We have to purify them.
Then, by all means, please do.
All right. I get off the box, and I think I make my way towards the temple, and I grab Arden, and I just like, do we know how to purify the dead? Do we know how to do that? Have we ever done that? We haven't done that. I don't think.
Purify.
We can find the scroll. Maybe they have scrolls. Maybe they have some sort of writing about.
He stops you, and he puts his hands on your shoulders, and he says, "Wait, God.
Mm-hmm.
Stop."
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything that we can do.
At the very least, we can give them hope that there's something that we can do. So we have to go find something, either a scroll or something, a rite of passage, anything. We have to do something.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Ah, of course you're right.
Am I? Sorry. Yes. Thank you.
And he follows you to the temple.
Okay, here we go. And I think I'm gonna just like look through all the books, like see if there's anything and I don't think there's even like a spell that would do this, but yeah, just like any rite that would, lead the people to believe that like whatever evil is present they are protected from.
And as you start to look, he says to you, if you have, I can do this. I'll take care of this. I'll find it, and I will do that. I will do that for the people.
Okay.
And if I can't find something, then I will
make something up.
I will make something up.
Just.
Why do I always do what you say?
I don't know why you do what I say. I don't know what I'm doing.
But you're right. You know why? Because Catalina. And he steps into your space, and he is tall, and he looks down, and meets you eye to eye. I think I find that I'm so easily influenced by you because you are, you're you. And
I thought you were going to die back there.
Oh, I thought I was going to die too.
I'm really glad you didn't. I'm really glad you didn't.
I'm really glad you didn't, even though I had no question that you would make it through.
Is this allowed?
What do you mean?
Is this allowed?
What do you mean?
I think I just like look at it and I'm like,
I won't say anything if you don't say anything.
okay. I kiss him.
He kisses you back. And you can feel that this is something he's thought of before. And then he pulls away and he says, I'm gonna do what I said I would do, and then, but you know where to find me later if you want to.
Yep.
And then he turns away from you and he starts searching for some sort of a scroll. You see his head his head kind of cocks a little bit to the side, and he's like, you can see that he feels like he's a little bit in over his head, but
I do go back and I was like, okay, maybe just like one more.
He completely does not get he's not picking up what
I kiss him again.
And he returns it right back.
Heck yeah. Okay. All right. Just make something up if you can't find something.
Right, make something up.
I didn't know what I was gonna say when I got up on that box. If you just let it happen, something happens.
If you just let it happen, something happens. He writes that down.
Okay. I love it.
And do you leave?
I think I leave. I like
You leave the temple.
Yeah.
In no time, you pick up where Koja has left off. Koja, what are you in the middle of doing?
I'm surveying the town and looking at people sort of coming together and preparing the work. And typically, my role in this town is to help as well, right? Fix things that are broken, mend things. If people ask for assistance, I'm there. And I'm feeling torn because I don't want to do that. For the first time ever, the need of wanting to help, the value in which I can provide in helping, especially the fact that I'm looking around and Neza is nowhere to be found. And I feel like, this is a duty for him and myself, gives me the permission to think about choice rather than obligation. And I look at Neza's example of being what I perceive as an individual move of carrying the one body of Elitza. And I think to myself, I have never turned down a job. I have given myself fully to every one of these people. And I've never thought to myself, this seems like I don't want to do this task. I don't want to set up the tile. I think tile. And I walk over to Doña Matilde's house. And I don't know if she survived or not, but that's irrelevant to me. And I walk to the front of the house where all the foliage is. And I remember seeing that flower that was withered. And I just focus on that flower. And I think to myself, this is what I want to be doing. And I remember back to the teachings of Doña Lesa as she was teaching me mending. And I try to replicate that exact hand movement, the gestures. And I want to see if I am able to bring this flower back to life, essentially.
You move towards the flower and you start to conjure that magical energy that you had not long ago shoved it down and stifled. And it starts to swirl around, dance around your fingertips, and you're thinking in your mind the desire to mend this starting to wither flower. Your mind goes from mending, druid craft, and you start to go through almost a very limited Rolodex of magic that you are familiar with, maybe because you've heard people talk about it, maybe because you've witnessed people practice it, but you're not sure what one is going to work here. And you just don't know. That magical energy does dance around you, and it sort of swirls around the flower, and then it dissipates.
There's no change.
Roll me a nature check.
Ooh.
That's 12.
12. You look at the flower, you study it, and something does come to mind. looking at that flower, and it's also in the direction of La Lomita.
Mm-hmm.
Looking up over the house, you can see the tip top of the tree that stands on that hill. Whatever magic you tried to conjure here, you can't tell if it has had any effect. At least not right now.
I remember my conversation with Catalina, and I knew that that's my sanctuary. La Lomita is where I go to think. And yeah, I feel like that is my spot. And in a place like this, I think about how long Alma has, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
How long this town is gonna be, if we have to move, find another place. I don't know about these abominations coming in, if it's gonna be a natural occurrence. And I think to myself, I wanna visit there one last time because I don't know how much time I have left, even here. So I make my way to La Lomita.
You make your way to La Lomita. Back in the town square, you've just emerged from the temple. And Leo, where are you right now?
I was walking back with the group, with Azune, and I think, so a couple of things. What I was thinking about was perhaps going home, but I think I'm not sure if I'm ready for that yet. And so my mind is replaying many parts of the day. And do I know where Eliseo lives?
You do.
I want to go there.
That's smart.
You do. You head to Eliseo's. We're heading to Koja. We're heading to La Lomita. Catalina?
Yeah, I think there's just all these bodies. There's a group of people that are going to go get the Arapaima fish. Neza is nowhere to be seen. I think I go to the fountain.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at it, and I remember that there was this moment where I felt like I saw this conflict on her face, these two very specific states of being, and I just wonder if she ever wondered about what to do.
You make your way to the fountain. Azune is still in the festival square, and he is directing people. You overhear him say, "Please, everyone, go home, get some rest." And in that moment, Arden comes out, and he kneels down in front of the rows upon rows upon rows of the dead. And he begins to mutter something.
Mm-hmm.
You can't quite make out the words. If you turn to look at him, you'll see that he is having a very slow and deliberate gestures as he's kind of sweeping over the bodies of the people that are there. Around him, people are receiving that, and you can tell there's some comfort in that. Azune finds a corner, standing guard. You can read by the look on his face that Azune is not sleeping tonight. You approach the fountain.
Mm-hmm.
You see the statue made of very old stone in the face of a woman. And we move to Leo.
Mm-hmm.
You make it to Eliseo's. The door is open.
I'm gonna knock on it, but then without waiting, push it open and go inside and see if I see him there, or if I don't, I want to look for any signs, opening drawers of where he went. If it seems like a deliberate, like if it seems like it's emptied, has he gone somewhere, or is he truly missing like Azune thinks he is?
Give me an investigation check.
Mystery.
No!
Do you still have bless?
4. I don't think so,
No.
but
All right, fine.
4.
4.
You're coming in here and you're trying to find clues, and it's hard to make sense beyond what I'm about to describe. You see that his bed is unmade. You see that drawers are open and left open. The door was left open from the entryway. You see that his hunter's gear is not there. And you find a piece of paper that's blank.
Where's the paper?
It's on his bed.
Oh no.
I'm gonna grab it and see if I can like put it towards the light or some fire or anything to see if there's anything on it. Flip it around.
Give me another investigation check.
Big money, big money, big money.
God, no. 3?
Oh no.
I was doing so
You
well,
ain't trying to look
guys.
for
I was
answers
doing
here.
so
You ain't trying to look
well.
for
I was
answers
doing
here.
so
They
well.
don't want it, and you
sorry.
have to respect the
I'm
dice.
sorry.
They don't want
Damn
it.
it.
I want it.
There's something about this piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
It looks blank. Doesn't look like there's anything on it. One thing that you can gather is that it's not a fresh piece of paper. You can see that it's been in someone's hands. There's like a crease here and there. It's been held. That's all you can get.
I'm gonna pocket it. And then, is there any other like paper, pens around?
I mean, there's some, yeah. He's got a desk and he's got some paper there and
I sort of want to
pens.
write a note to him
okay.
and say, if you come back, come find me and sign it and leave it on his desk.
Done. You do exactly that. You notice as you're writing that your own penmanship has got a shakiness to it.
Oh.
And perhaps this is the first time you realize as you try to steady the writing utensil in your hand that your hands are trembling and they haven't stopped. And you feel a wave of exhaustion start to catch up to you. Koja. Time has passed and you make your way to La Lomita. What do you do?
La Lomita is usually a place where I contemplate my sort of position in life in relation to the town. I think about my brother a lot, especially since he's passed. And myself, and about like what's going on with me. I ask questions. I'm lost, permanently lost, because I don't know myself. And so like Lomita is a place where I'm trying to, and it's dawning on me now that I've always gone to nature for answers. And it's never really clicked for me until this very moment, because I realized that the only answers I've ever received ever is from asking nature.
Ooh.
And yes, like the fact that how my younger brother has aged, where I have stayed the same, my entire family gone and me being the last person there, the sense of embarrassment I feel about not crossing over yet and waiting for like a higher purpose. All of these questions I ask. But I don't ask that today. I go to the tree and I look at the flowers growing all along the tree.
You do. You see on La Lomita a solitary tree upon this hill that overlooks the town below. And just as you say, this tree is covered up and down, its branches and its trunk, with these delicate foam flowers that exude this soft, sweet scent. And as you gaze upon these flowers, a memory comes back. You remember coming here as a child with your brother Mateo. You remember how he came towards those foam flowers, and you remember the way that he would kneel down and watch them with awe and wonder. And how whenever something struck him in that way, how he would always pull you towards it, because everything that he experienced, he wanted to share it with you. And you kneel down at the very spot where he first showed you the wonder of these tiny, delicate flowers. And something comes to mind. Someone. Who is that?
The memory of my brother conjures up an image of the rest of my family. When I was younger, there was a lot more of us. And I remember my father caring and providing for his family, but not his family, the family of Alma as well. I remember my mother sewing up clothes that we would rip and tear because we didn't have much. And I feel the embrace. And I remember being in the battlefield and asking Mateo if he could talk to me. And this is his way of communicating with me, right here in La Lomita.
You feel that, and you return to that memory, that day when you were here with your brother, and how he pulled you down so that you can lay on the hill and look up at the sky. That mist that blankets Alma, here for some reason, more than anywhere else, will occasionally open up. And you remember you and your brother laying on your backs, looking up at the sky as children. The sky opens up and you feel the sun. And it's so warm and perfect. You find yourself in the present moment, laying on La Lomita and looking up. And you remember when you were children, how you both fell asleep here, underneath the warm, golden sun.
There's a sense of ease as I close my eyes and allow sleep to come to me. And I think, and it's a perverse thought, but I think about being the last one there. And a sense of gratitude that I am the last one there, that my family didn't experience this. And I sleep.
Catalina, you're at the statue. You're looking upon the face of this old stone. What are you looking for?
I think as I look at the stone, I wonder for the first time, I'm like, was she a real person? Did she live? Was she conjured? Did we make her up? Was she part of this? Did she walk the earth? I don't know. I wasn't there. And I feel this reverence, this taught reverence for this person who brings people comfort and brings people, a sense of stability. But in this moment, all I can think about is that dream and the inner turmoil or the split in herself that I can't shake. And then I think I look back to the entrance of town, and I remember what I remember that Koja was talking about La Lomita, and I think about the river and all these things. And I've always known, or for as long as I've been hearing this call, I've known that the answers are out there. They're not here, but I've been afraid. But I think that on a night like tonight, no time like the present to go and explore that.
You're standing face to face with the statue as all of these thoughts move through your mind, and you feel someone join you. And it's Arden. And he looks at you with a mischievous look in his eyes. I don't know if they bought it, but I made it up.
I think you did great. I think you did great.
And then...
I bought it. I did.
Oh.
You did great.
Ooh. That makes me feel good.
Good.
And then he takes your hand.
Yeah.
And then he looks at the statue. And he kind of scrunches his brow. And he says to you, do you think she was a real person? And we move to Leo. You've left the note.
Mm-hmm.
You're feeling exhaustion. Where do you go next?
I think I'm gonna go to my house, but I'm not going inside. I'm going to where all the alpacas are. I assume since it's nighttime, maybe they're also settling in to sleep. And so I just sort of breathe in the familiar smell, which isn't great, but is sort of welcoming. I spend so much time out here. And I take off my cloak and I lay it next to Micha, which is my preferred alpaca. And I sort of lean against her, and I'm trying to, again, do everything I can to not think about what just happened. I am trying to block it all out. And I'm thinking about and trying to divert my thoughts towards the mystery of where the hell Eliseo has been all day. And I think I'm thinking about that, and inevitably, with sort of the rise and fall of my alpaca's breathing, get lulled to sleep outside.
You start to drift to sleep. And a final thought enters your mind before you do. Catalina?
Mm-hmm.
Arden looks at the statue and then looks at you.
Mm-hmm.
And then he tugs on your hand and he says, I'm ready for bed. And he pulls and then stops and says to you, he looks at you, looks at the statue, sees you looking at the statue. But if you want another moment here, then I will wait for you.
Oh, man. Oh!
Starts to walk away.
Okay. I think
The invitation is clear.
Yeah, 100%. I think, tomorrow's not that far away. And I think I follow Arden.
Follow Arden and you go back to where your homes are. The acolytes are all kind of clustered in a similar place. So your home and his home are not that far away from each other. And he stops and he's unsure of where to go next. And he basically kind of points at you, points at himself, and does this little rotation with his fingers, which before meant talk to you soon, at something else, later. Same gesture that he thinks is clear as day. What happens next?
I think I take his hand and I take him to my quarters.
You do.
Is there a statue of the mother in our rooms?
LOL.
You tell me.
I think there's probably a little figurine, and I just take a shawl and I just put it over the statue.
Oh my gosh.
She doesn't see it.
He sees you take the shawl, put it over the statue, and it's a little figurine.
Yeah, it's just a little figurine.
And he says, he just gives you a nod and then takes the figurine and just turns.
Good idea.
And he goes towards your bed,
Yeah.
which is identical to his. And he climbs in.
Yeah. I join him.
It takes you no time to realize that he's already fast asleep out of exhaustion.
I'm so happy to see that he is safe and that he is, with me still and that we are close in a way that you never assume that anyone's, interested in you in that way. So I think I just in this moment feel so grateful that he's alive and that he's safe and that we get to be with each other. And I hold him and I just I give him a little kiss on the forehead.
And you drift off to sleep. Leo, as you start to lose consciousness, you're replaying so many of the events throughout the day, over and over and over again. And as you slip into slumber, you remember something along the road, returning from the gift at night, carrying bodies in the wagons. You remember something someone said. You hear Eliseo's voice. And remember something from that trip back. Leo, I think this is what caused the wolves to come. The Cadejos, I think that they somehow, it happened. It happened now. This is when it happened. It happened on our way back. And you're asleep.
Make sense of that, huh?
Elaborate.
Make sense of that, huh?
What I'm about to describe is happening to each of you at the same time, but separately.
Oh, man.
You are alone. It is pitch black, but you can feel the space around you stretching infinitely into the distance in all directions. You hear only the sound of your breath. Each barely audible exhalation lingers for a moment around you as if it were slowed in time. And finally, you see a mirror in front of you, some distance away. You feel yourself getting pulled towards the mirror. It starts getting larger and larger. It is tall and wide. And as you get closer, you see that it appears to be made of smaller pieces. Circular surfaces of various sizes make up this mirror, like a mosaic of round, reflective tiles. And in the mirror, you see your face. Catalina, describe the face that's looking back at you.
Ooh, she is not as put together as she was this morning. I think she is tentatively excited in a way that, so much of her time, I think, is spent trying to figure out what the right thing to do is and feeling like no matter what she does, that there was another thing that was the righter thing to do. And she thinks about this diverting path that, she sees every choice as this diversion. And for the first time, she's wondering if, what if they're not diverging paths? What if it's just like a long, winding road? And as I kind of discover that in my own face, I'm elated.
You see that discovery reflected back to you. Goja, in the mirror, you see your own face looking back. What do you see?
I don't see my face anymore. I see a mutated form of the abomination. I see the pieces of mosaic coming together as one, and I see the faces of an abomination all over its torso, its arms, creating an image of a many-being creature coming as one.
Huh.
I see myself, but I also see the monster that I fought. And there's a moment where I cannot tell the difference.
You see that looking back at you. Leo, you're looking at your face in the mirror. What's looking back?
She is tired. She has dark circles under her eyes, ragged, and she is desperately trying to hold herself together. And all of the confidence that even might have been some days more of a front than others is just gone, and she is just desperately looking at that mirror for answers.
That's what you see looking back. Neza, you see your face in the mirror in front of you. What do you see reflected back?
I see an older version of myself. Grayed hair that was once black, and my beard is gray. And this version of me is bare-chested, and I notice that there are 2 wounds, gaping wounds, and they're the exact position of the wounds on Elitsa. And when I notice those wounds, they start to close up and scar, and this older version of me starts to laugh. Unabashed, joyous laughter, and it makes me angry. And I get so angry until I realize why he's laughing. And I think back to the moment I fell in love with Elitsa and the song she was singing that she had written. And I remember the lyric. I'm so glad that I can see the scars that you have put on me, because skin and bone is more than memory. And I can't stop laughing. And I remember her.
And that is what you see reflected back to you. And in an instant, a flood of white light blinds you, and it fades as quickly as it came. And you are in Alma. Catalina, you're in the temple. And before you, you see a spread of food and water. And you see magical energy swirling around it. And you hear a voice. Catalina, are you even listening right now? And that is where our remembering fades.
Oh, no! Oh!